Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad and Supercoach Pro. Today's video we're doing a round 9 Supercoach review. Look, not great. I did leave a few points on the emergency benches there. We'll take a look at the sides. Scored 2,135. Pretty ordinary. Moved down a little bit in ranking. I actually thought I'd move down a lot more than that, but I must have a pretty handy head start. So only lost 2,000 spots, really, almost close to 3,000 really. Now out to 8,360. That might be the highest I've been so far. I'm not sure. Anyway, I think we can bounce back, especially over the buys, the way the team's structured. Made a couple of last minute changes, and didn't go my way. So sort of like right trades, just wrong week to do them, and that happens in Supercoach. My first sort of trading, and I've had a premium go wrong in that week. So get stuck in the side. So what I'm talking about. I do apologise. I didn't get to see any games apart from the Richmond and Hawthorn one. I was up in Madura and getting stuff done over there and enjoying my time away with Tay. So do apologise, didn't watch much of it, but we'll go through the side, have a look at some of the trade-ins and trades out that people are making, my thoughts on Cogs, Butters and players like that. And might do a little bit more, a deeper dive, not so much into the team, but what everyone else is doing to their side and the buys. So something a little bit different, we'll go over the team though. So, pretty bad week for myself. Starting off with the back line, it's just numbers to me, obviously, this week. Sometimes it is, every now and then. This week coming, I'll actually be able to watch a few games. I'm actually going to the Richmond Essendon game this weekend, so if you do see me, say hello. Not sure if you will recognise me because I've only got about 116 subs or thereabouts. So anyway, Sicily 141 in the back line. He's just been a solid pick since trading him in about around 5 or 6 there. Maybe even earlier, I'm not sure. 88 for short, played a little bit everywhere. A little bit disappointed in this score. Still has an average of 109, so I won't be trading him out. Still think he's a very good scorer no matter where he is in the field. Jack Crisp getting it done, scoring 100, not bad at all. Here's the big one. Georgie Hewitt, this is why my plans sort of went a little bit haywire. I've seen that he was named. So I thought maybe I can bring in a different player. I don't have to bring in Dawson, which is what I was going to do. He only missed 2 weeks, so it looks like it was the right move, and he did score 121. Cripps is the one that killed me. I traded him out after a week, and he came back after a week. So glad I didn't do the same thing with Hewitt. Scored really well. I think he's still pretty highly owned. Yeah, he's in more teams than not. Day cost 69, not worried about this pick. If he's your biggest worry, or McCann's your biggest worry, then your team's absolutely flying. I actually had Ryan on field. I didn't have McCann on field, so this is where I'm actually going to treat Ryan as a rookie and just get rid of him this week because McCann's more reliable than him of late anyway. It's only really that 156 score that is really helping his average there. McCann's pretty solid. I'll hold him over the buys if I can. And DeConning scoring higher than Luke Ryan, so that just sums it up for me, really. He's just bleeding cash. He's got a break even about 85. So I think I've been meaning to trade him in my preview and review videos for about 3 weeks straight now, and this is the week I do it because he's actually worse than any rookie I have. This was the other killer. I actually had Carroll on field. I did muck around on my side before. You're probably wondering why I ran Carroll. I'll go through that soon. Neil 115, Captain Dolliver 99, so that's where that hurt me. Should have actually taken McRae's 117, which is really strange, but is what it is this week. I'll wear it. I think a lot of people were thinking that Gawn or Oliver would go nuts against West Coast and end up being Petrarca. So well done to you guys that played that move in Petrarca. And Miller 130, just super solid pick. Could probably start captaining this guy now that he's had 3 weeks straight of solid scoring. McRae touched over. I wasn't going to take a 117 for a BC. Just thought there'd be a lot more points this week and was actually considering Cripps, and lucky I didn't because he did stuff all. So same with Tom Green, 75, got sucked into this pick. by a group I'm in, hyping this man up. And then, ever since I brought him in the last 4 weeks, he's been pretty average. So, should go with your own gut instinct sometimes with players that haven't really had a breakout year. And that's my fault for going, he's going to have an outstanding year and just going with not my gut instinct. So, Will Brodie, 121, solid again. Look, if you start this guy like me, you're just laughing. Solid pick. I just wonder how bad his scoring goes when Fife does return to the team. There was an article saying him and Fife will play forward once Fife returns. And Carroll, 28, is probably something I really want to look into, why he scored so bad. Look, I haven't had time to really research things of late. I got home late yesterday from Madura and then worked 10 till 6 today. So it's been a big day. If you ever want to sort of see where the players' stats are, this is where I have a look sometimes, or you can go to another source I'm about to show you there. But just to see what Carroll did in general, where is he? Pretty bad. 11 disposals, okay. 5 kicks, 6 handballs, and obviously didn't use it well if that's the case. A little bit off topic, but this was the reason why I actually chose Luke Ryan. I forgot I actually had this tab up when I was actually speaking about him. He's averaged quite well, and now this year he's just carked it. So, I really hate this pick because we will go into my trades after I get through the rest of it. Decoy as emergency was actually because I had Hewitt in my midfield in case he was laid out. Turns out Hewitt played. So I actually grabbed Sean Darcy this week. And I flipped McDonald and Ward for Hamilton and who's the other bloke? Carroll. So, the trade itself, McDonald scored something like 30 perhaps. So it was no different to Carroll, and Hamilton scored better than Ward because Ward didn't even play. McComb, 41. So hopefully he keeps his spot in that doggy side. Not sure he will after that sort of performance. If you're going by Supercoach numbers, not that they do that. And 77 to go. He'll be back on field this week. And I don't really care about projected scores. I think people get hyped up about this a lot. It's never accurate. So just because you're projected for something, usually you're 100 or 200 points out anyway because someone carks it or someone goes massive. So this was the annoying thing. I thought I'd play the numbers game here. Hayes scored 55. I had Hayes there. So I had Sam Hayes as my emergency. And I was like, you know what? Take a punt on Darcy. Knew Wits would be a tough opposition. And I knew that Darcy has some really good opponents coming up. Like, he's playing Collingwood this week, and they've got no ruckman that's decent, to be honest. He'll be up against Cameron, who's absolute smack. So I look forward to those points on field. And I didn't want to pay any more than 600k for Darcy, and he ends up losing 13k or something like that. So, waste of a trade this week. I actually lost 4 points. Could have had Hayes on field and bring Dawson in. And so be it. I think we all have those weeks where we, in hindsight, sometimes things look great on paper before doing them, and then you bring in a premium, and how many times they do this for your first score is more common than not. So you'll wear it, and Proust 120. If you started with Wits and Proust, you're probably laughing. Like, you're probably in the top 1,000, to be honest. And the forward line not so bad this week, apart from Cogs just doing stuff all. Apparently he got the knee to the back of the third quarter. I don't really forgive him, but I'm going to hold him all season. So that's my take on that pick. Dunkley 118. This seems pretty consistent of him. Scores high one week. This week he's probably due for a bad one. Parker 105. That's what you're expecting now. Probably around that average, and your forward line is fine. Heaney 92. It's good to see his floor isn't 50s this year, which is great. Maybe someone who watched the Giants game can tell me why Cogs did so bad apart from the knee in the back. Was it a roll? Who knows? Like, they all played pretty bad apart from Proust by the looks of my scoring anyway. And Hamilton was actually the right move over Rioli. I had a bad feeling Rioli wouldn't be much of a point scorer, small forward. If you ever look at Castanier's number on Supercoach, they're pretty bad. So I just wasn't willing to take a punt on Rioli, considering it'd be hard for him to get back in the side if he does get dropped. I don't think he'll be dropped for dream time at the G though. So see how he goes in that game. If you are an owner, obviously just hold your rookies until they hit their break even. And look, Butters, there was an obvious call to hold him against North Melbourne. Probably a silly trade if you went him to Cameron this week. It probably would have just held off one more week for it because Cameron only scored 90. So, yeah, who do you chop in this sense? Martin, probably not. I think he'll probably score well against the Tigers in the midfield and half forward. In my opinion, I don't think he's one I really want to trade right now. And a lot of people have him. So you're going to have to cut the antipod if you have a player like Ryan. So, and Roses, whatever, however you want to say it, been a long day. Held on to him, sort of resets his break-even a little bit. And hopefully I can keep him during the buys because he does got an easy fixture coming up, I'm pretty sure. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to have to bring in Clark this week. Ryan can get stuffed. Sick of the pick, to be honest. Glad I kept Hayes just for this move specifically. Now we'll chuck Hamilton in the forward line and we'll grab Clark, who didn't score that well, to be honest. I think he scored about a 62. Didn't see the game, but knew it would be a tough game against Melbourne, so that's why I didn't jump the gun and have him as an M8 this week. Would have been 30 points better than Carroll, though. And then for defence, I don't think I'll double downgrade on someone like Roy Thompson. I'm not sure about him at all. So it's more take your pick, but you're probably taking a pick that doesn't have the buys that the other players in the back line do. So I could go Withering, however you say his name, or I could go Jordan Dawson because they've got the same buy. So I'm unsure at this stage. It's just, what can you do with the cash too? Like, that's 63 grand difference is a big difference, and you're not paying for what they've already done. You're paying for what you think they're going to average from here on out. And I think Dawson's fixture coming up is actually pretty decent. So that's who I'll be bringing in this week. Dawson's been on my radar for a number of weeks. Luke Ryan's average of these scores, this is why I picked him for this season. I had all these scores at the preseason, and he scores fairly decent. And then, this is obviously last year's, and this year he doesn't even get close to that. I think it's the emergence of Chapman and Young and all those players around him in the back line. He's just not stat pattern like you'd want to. I actually don't bring in a real premium for a premium here. It's sort of, I feel like I'm losing a trade on this, but I'm just done with it, and I'd rather field Dacos over Luke Ryan, which is saying something. Down to 16 trades. I've still got one upgrade to do on the back line, and probably 2 or 3 in the midfield. So, not sure what we're going to do. Probably hold Cogs and Butters as, F7 / M9 picks. On the positive note, the bench is actually finally looking good with no McDonald, Ward, no dead rookies. So during the buys, I think we'll make some numbers because the rookies we do have on bench are actually fairly fieldable. And I think the DPP this year will help me through the buys. Hope to get back into top 5K again, which was sort of bouncing in, bouncing out, and thereabouts. And the beauty about this is we do have a lot of DPP, so hopefully I can bring in a defensive midfielder, swing rookie at some point, and just be very much trades from here on out. I guess the other question you guys would probably want to know is who you're trading out for Jack Steele. If you don't already have him, just looking off the top of my head, obviously Neil. Mills is an interesting one. I probably would go Mills, but just a 167, then he'll score you 60 the week after. I'd rather something more consistent or a little bit left field. I'd probably suggest Rory Laird, in all honesty. Absolute super pod. And then probably just guys that really suit your buy from here on out, really. I mean, Oliver's a solid pick. Cripps is still solid. Miller's solid. Petrarca, I like that pick. Not sure about Brayshaw at the moment. It's having a bit of a cold streak. Could be alright. Their fixture does get a little bit better from here on out. And Gorn's going to be so cheap during the buy, so he's one I might look to target. Potentially for Proust, but I think Proust is only averaging a little bit less than him. So don't think I'll bring him in until I see that niggle in his knee gone. And yeah, look, if you're trading out Cornelio and you're one of those 12,000 owners, surely you have something worse than a Cornelio to get rid of than him or Dacos or Martin for that sake. I'd be just trading out dead rookies for the buyers or players that are injured like O'Driscoll. Gibkiss will come back in this week for Bolter, so hold off for that trade. And these two, they can go. They're just useless. Like people holding for the buys, but for what? You're going to get an extra 30 points. Over 2 weeks, you're going to get 60 points over the buys. Like it's not even worth your time. McDonald went up $3,000. Just useless rookie, honestly. And yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about this guy's job security in the back line. I don't really want to pick any more Dogs rookies. I think I've got too many Dogs players in general. Petrarca against Melbourne this week, probably a good pick up. Mills against Carlton, I'm not sure he'll score that well because Carlton midfielders seem to really hurt other opposition midfielders scoring in Supercoach. And Dusty, as a Richmond owner, I don't think I'll bring him in this year just in case he takes a little bit more personal leave. It is worth the punt sometimes because he might be playing for a spot at Sydney or GWS. That's a speculation. But I just wouldn't trust it. Speculative picks at this time of the season is probably not something you really want to go for, whether it be injury or personal things. So Miller, good pick, I think, as well. Sis, if you don't have Sicily, he's probably one you want to jump on because he's actually in a lot of sides. So they're the guys I'm going to try to target, is guys that are in a lot of teams that are actually hurting me. That I actually want to own. So sometimes I'll have a look at teams picked. Okay, wow, I own everyone, pretty much that everyone's got. So no wonder I'm not moving up in the ranks. So maybe for a side like mine, I need a pod. And that's where Sean Darcy came into play. He scored 178 the week before and then scores 51 against Wits, who I knew would do well, but I didn't think he'd absolutely smash him that bad. So is what it is. See how we go from here. Just make sure you do have your VCs and Cs. I don't think I got any loopholes that I can see. Someone gets dropped. Kind of low-key, hoping that one of my players gets dropped so I can have a second punt at it. But at the same time, I'm glad I don't have any loopholes in being 2 weeks away from the buys. Look, if we're doing VCs and Cs right now, in case you don't get my Thursday or Friday video, whichever I do, if I had a look, it'd have to be VCing Oliver against North Melbourne. And then, who would you go, seriously? I don't really want to use any Giants players against West Coast. Probably Neil is what I'd go. So I'd go to Oliver into Neil. Neil's due for a big score after a quiet week in his point scoring anyway. And yeah, side's looking pretty solid. And I think I'll leave it there. I'm running out of things to actually talk about that's relevant for you guys anyway. Hopefully you guys scored well. Let me know what you scored, your trade plans. I always answer them in the comments below of the video, so post them there. And yeah, sorry if you guys followed me on my trade moves because I did make a last minute play for Darcy, which every now and then happens when you're watching live scores. So I'll leave it there and I'll catch you on the next one.